Welcome back to The Lead. I'm Jake Tapper. More politics now. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has had some choice words about Donald Trump. First, in comments to the Associated Press and the New York Times that prompted criticism that she crossed the line. But the notorious RBG, as her fans call her, then took her comments even further, calling Donald Trump a, quote, faker, and asking how it is that he hasn't released his tax returns yet. In a brand new interview with CNN's new legal analyst, Joan Biskupic, who joins us now. Joan, great interview, really remarkable and stunning exchanges. In one exchange with Ginsburg, she said, quote, about Trump, he has no consistency about him. He says whatever comes into his head at the moment, he really has an ego. Were you as surprised as I think the rest of the world was that she would say that one of the heads of the judicial branch saying this about one of the potential heads of the executive branch?
No, I was surprised when given the chance to walk back a touch from it that she didn't want to walk back. In fact, she came on even stronger in her comments to me. I think it goes to show that these two individuals might have something in common, always speaking their own mind. And I've known Justice Ginsburg since 1993 when she was appointed, and often go and speak to her at the end of the term. And she's known for her bluntness, and I think that's what's made her distinctive. She's not out there the way Donald Trump is constantly out there, but the fact that she would say these things wasn't a complete surprise because she tends to be honest in her comments. It's just that it was this time about Donald Trump, and anytime anyone says anything about Donald Trump, it's immediately front page news.
But these were personal criticisms of Donald Trump, not questions about how he might view the law or whatever. They were the kind of talk you might hear from a friend at a water cooler. More importantly, though, Joan, wouldn't this mean potentially that there would be huge calls for her to recuse herself if there were ever any sort of Trump-related case that comes before the court?
Well, you know, even in your question, Jake, you sort of distinguished the kinds of comments she made. They were more personal. They were almost like more as a voter in some ways, even though she's a judge. Think of the way a case would come to the Supreme Court. Maybe say he gets elected. Let's really speculate on this idea of recusal. Say Donald Trump becomes a president and there's a case involving his administration. That would have to do with his administration, not him personally. But then let's even pull back to something maybe possibly more personal, like a Bush v. Gore, Trump versus Clinton. The question would be, given her personal comments about him, would she not be able to rule fairly about a question of law? And it's just very hard to speculate on that at this point. Although I will say from the get-go that these were highly unusual remarks from a member of the Supreme Court about a presidential candidate.
Unusual, to say the least. You can read the full interview at CNN.com. Joan Biskupic, thank you so much. Good to see you as always.
Thank you.